Hello everyone. So let us go through some of the updates from the Atlassian ecosystem. Now the first update I have today is really amazing, and we have been waiting for this for a long time, and I want to thank Atlassian for doing this finally. So this update is actually about Confluence. Now Confluence is a decent tool. I mean, as compared to Jira, there is no comparison. Like the level of customizations, configurations you can do in Jira is amazing. And Confluence is, of course, not like Jira, but it is not that configurable. It is a nice tool. It's a decent tool. It works really nice with Jira. But because companies use Jira and Confluence usually together, so we consultants have to deal with Confluence on a regular basis. I have to deal with Confluence on a daily basis. And one annoying thing about Confluence is that there is no proper way of managing permissions. So if you go to a Confluence space, for example, if I open one of my Confluence space, I'll go to my instance, and there is a space here called demo. If you go to Confluence space, by the way, I'm using the new UI. Now, there is something called as access to your space, and here you can see that you do have these permissions. Now, if you're on not Jira, but if you're on Confluence Data Center, you basically have one page called permissions where you have all the users and groups listed on just one page, and there is no concept of roles, and that is what Atlassian has now done. So if you open any Confluence space, and if you want to have permissions based on roles, so there was no such possibility before, but now I believe it is possible. So I believe you can now create different roles, and I can see here that on this particular post, Atlassian is basically talking about a Jira project based or Jira project like permission system. So this is good. I quite like this, and I'm happy that it is finally here. And there is a video here as well. If you are, on this particular link, don't worry about the links. I'll share all the links on the post. So this feature, I believe, will be rolled out soon, or maybe it is already getting rolled out. I don't have it yet because I'm on free version. I tried a couple of my clients' Confluence instances. I don't see it there as well. So hopefully, or maybe it was not there when I checked last time, but hopefully it will be there for all the paid plans. So the thing is, this is a good start. I like that. I mean, of course, you can create. I mean, I hope that you will be able to create new roles. And you can say here that custom roles. So when you create custom roles, you can then hopefully, add users to that particular role. But this is not really, or still not like a permission scheme. Or maybe we are getting closer to that. I mean, one great thing about Jira is that you have permissions, and you have permissions that you can reuse. And that is actually great because you can have permission schemes that can actually be applied to multiple projects. And in a way, you're saying that, okay, if you're working for dev team or QA team, blah, blah, blah team, all of you will have to follow this similar structure. So you can actually have some consistency. And I believe, I feel that, I mean, we all know about renaming of projects to spaces. And I don't know what will happen to spaces in Confluence, but I think in near future, Jira and Confluence will probably just be one combined tool, or it will be like a feature. So if you purchase Jira, you of course need to purchase Confluence as well, but it will be tightly integrated, right? So there will be no such concept of Jira for issue tracking and or work item tracking, or Confluence for collaboration. I think it will be just one tool where you will just enable, okay, I want to collaborate on a page, okay, let me purchase Confluence. So I think hopefully, I mean, to be honest, I don't like renaming projects to spaces, but I understand why Atlassian is doing it. I mean, I can feel why Atlassian is doing it, even if I don't know exactly what will happen. But I think in near future, I hope in near future or in 6 months from now, it will be just one tool. And maybe by that time, we'll have Confluence following a similar or same permission scheme kind of a, feature. So yeah, just saying. But I think it's a good start. At least we now have roles. And these roles, I believe, I hope in near future it will map to Jira roles. All right, so this is the first update. The other update I have for you is related to the automation. Now, we have this automation where you can actually create a page in Confluence. Now, in that automation, now it is possible to also have a page content using rich text, which is good. And this rich text, of course, will, it will ensure that whenever you're trying to create a page automatically, it will follow the formattings that you want. And it will, of course, help you with making sure that your pages are looking good. And good thing is that your smart values will still work, and you can do fancy things. I mean, not really fancy things, but smart things with Confluence pages. We do integrate Jira and Confluence quite a lot. On Jira Data Center, almost every day when we work with our clients, we create pages in Confluence, and we do that, of course, using scripts. And formatting, the way you format things on Jira Data Center, of course, is slightly different. But on Jira Cloud, using automation rules, if you want to create a page, now you have the option to use rich text editing features, which is good, which I like. And this is definitely, a welcome update. I really like where things are going when it comes to automations. Okay, so the next couple of updates are about Trello. I think in one of our recent update, we shared mirroring of cards in Trello. And now I believe when you mirror a card, you also get a few other features like sorting, filtering, and you can also create different views like calendar. I mean, you can basically have your cards appear in your calendar view, timeline view, and table, for example. You also have these mirroring options now working very closely with your automations. So yeah, I think Trello is getting a lot of attention lately. So this is, of course, about mirroring of card, which I think we discussed in similar to mirroring. We discussed this in one of our previous update, but there is also some changes to the board navigation. So now you can have different boards which you can, of course, pin, and you can switch between those boards very easily. You also have you can also easily switch to a list view of your board. So basically, the whole idea is that you can switch these views, or you can actually navigate from one board to another board very easily and quickly. And Trello is, I think, one tool which I know from my experience a lot of companies use, and it is not just non-technical teams. I mean, people actually have this misconception. They always say that, okay, Jira is a tool for technical people, and I know everyone is talking about, whenever you ask them about why, I mean, I keep posting on LinkedIn where I talk about, not really criticize, but I talk about, my unhappiness about renaming issues to work item or renaming projects to spaces, and people will always add a comment that Atlassian is trying to be inclusive of everyone. They want to create one tool for everyone. I don't really think that is needed, and I don't really think that is also true. For example, I know from my experience that non-technical teams also use Jira, and they use Jira perfectly. Of course, you need to train them, and irrespective of any tool that you use, you will always have to train someone. It could be a non-technical team using a tool like Jira. It could be a technical team using a tool like Trello. There is always some getting used to involved. It could be a proper training. It could be just spending some time, or it could be them knowing it on their own, like figuring out on their own. So you cannot really expect a tool that will work without any coaching, mentoring, training, or like you cannot really expect wonders on day one. So that is always the case. But at the same time, I think we should not, you know, we should not really say that Jira is for everyone. I don't really think Jira is for everyone. Jira is one such tool which is configurable, and you can basically configure it, customize it so that you can solve different problems. You can have different use cases. Different kind of teams can use Jira, but Jira is still, I I think from my experience, majorly used and will always be used by technical teams, right? That is the reality, and we should not really try to create a tool which is like generic for everyone. I don't really think that. I'm not saying it is impossible, but at the same time, I don't really think it is needed because even non-technical teams have been using Jira, right? Okay, so going back to Trello. So Trello is getting a lot of attention from Atlassian, and there are a lot of updates recently. I think in the last couple of months we have seen plenty of updates on Trello, and good thing about Trello is that it is, as compared to Jira, very easy to get started. So you can actually sign up for Trello and you are actually up and running. You don't really have to configure anything. With Jira, of course, you have to plan something like if you are trying to basically work on a project or some ongoing and activity, or maybe you think you want to standardize your way of working, then of course you cannot really start using Jira from day one. Of course you can, but it is always a good idea to spend some time, work with a consultant like us, of course, and try to understand how Jira can be best configured for their use case. All right, let us move on. The next thing that we want to talk about, the upcoming event. So we do, keep an eye on the ACE website, ace.atlassian.com. And whenever we see an event which is interesting, we talk about it. So this event is a virtual event. This is basically a women only Atlassian ecosystem event. So I don't really think if men are allowed, but I think they should be. But I've never really attended any such event. But I think this could be interesting if you want to, sign up. And if you want to join, you should join. And I think there will be like a similar in-person event in Barcelona. I don't really have plans yet to visit Barcelona, the upcoming event. I might this time. And this event, if you want to, sign up, of course, you can go to the ace.atlassian.com. But at the same time, I think when you sign up for these events, I mean, of course, just look at your schedule and calendar. But you do get points which you can use to get, which you can use to to renew your certificates. So this is one, I think, advantage of attending these events. And to be honest, I also do that because I don't really want to pay $35 and of course prepare for the exam. So I think I rather just, attend the event. Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to talk about this event. This event is happening on 9th of July, maybe sometime in 10 days from now. So do consider joining. Okay, so let us move on and talk about the app that we launched. Now we have been playing and exploring Forge for a long time now. And lately we have been developing apps as well for the marketplace. And we have, in fact, few apps lined up that we want to, launch. But we recently launched this app called Sprint Runner for Jira. And I want to talk about this app because we want to, sell it. We want to promote it. And we are actually quite happy that we were able to create a very nice app using nothing but Forge. So this app runs, if you go to the marketplace listing, it says runs on Atlassian. So if your app is built totally using Forge and you're just using Node.js. I mean, in this case, we are using Node.js and React, but we have this badge runs on Atlassian. So this is good. So you can take a look if you are if you think you're struggling with starting your sprints on time, stopping your sprints on time. And it is not only that. It is not just about starting and stopping the sprints on time. We are also we have also added some additional features, like you can actually take a look at all these sprints in one go, and you can go to your sprint retrospective report from that particular view. So this is something that we have done, and I think it's a useful app. So do consider looking at the app. Okay, and we of course wrote this documentation about this, this blog post. So if you want to learn how this app works, do take a look at this documentation. And at the same time, you can also reach out to me or our company, and we can actually give you a demo of this app. All right. The last thing that I want to talk about is I think we also want to talk about this video, which we made. So let me just open the video very quickly for you. I'm looking for the link. Okay, so this video is actually about. Okay, let me find the link of this video. Okay, I am missing the link. Let me open it quickly for you. So basically, we wanted to talk about in detail how to stay up to date with the updates or with everything that is happening in the Atlassian ecosystem. Now, the thing is, when it comes to Atlassian, when it comes to tools like Jira, we of course want to ensure that we are always up to date. So I made this video sometime last year. It is not a recent video, but in this video I am talking about how to basically ensure that if you are involved with Jira or any other Atlassian tool, you are always aware of what is happening. You're always aware of new features, and it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter if you are a Jira user, if you are a Jira admin, if you are a consultant like me, because there are so many things happening in the Atlassian ecosystem. There are so many new features getting added to Atlassian tools like Jira, Trello. So one great thing that you can do is, of course, you can watch this video or this session on Spotify. So we make these weekly videos every Monday, where we talk about every Monday 8 o'clock British Summer Time and 12:30 India Standard Time. So these videos go out, and you can learn, you can stay up to date. But at the same time, there are also a lot of other things that you can do. Like, of course, you can keep an eye on the Atlassian community. Maybe whenever you're doing something online, try to follow people or post that are related to Atlassian, right? So there are so many things that you can do, but there is no single thing that you can do or that you need to do. You have to basically, look at different places to stay up to date. And you need to stay up to date, because if you don't really follow these posts or videos or links, then in few months you'll feel outdated, because there are so many things happening all the time. All right. So if you think Jira or Atlassian tools are important for you, or maybe you think you're involved with these tools, maybe for your job and work, maybe business, then you need to be up to date. All right. So that is all I have for you today. I hope you found this video and this session useful, and you also learned something new today. Thank you very much.